Lauren and I were in Chicago this weekend and it was an absolute blast. We had a great time. We went to some cool places and we're sitting there at True Food. And I asked Lauren, what is your favorite part of being in the city? And her response was the same as mine when she asked me, which was, is this beard distracting you? It's distracting me a little bit. Hold on, while I take care of this, check out some of the footage from what we got to see while we were in the city this past weekend. Here it is. Just finished eating at True Food. How'd you feel about it?
Delicious.
It was awesome. I really enjoyed that. They have 23 locations around the US and we got to eat at one of them and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Now we have 22 more to try.
Woo! Well, that's it for the trip to Chicago. How do you feel about it?
Great.
Did you have a blast?
I did.
Me too. We're gonna come back again sometime soon?
Yes.
We're moving to Chicago, just so you know.
What?
I'm kidding, we're not actually moving to Chicago. Silly. And now I'm clean shaven, so we can get this party started. Lauren and I both had the same response about what we really loved about being downtown Chicago. Energy. We love that there's so much freaking energy. Just seeing so many people walking the streets, they're walking like they're on a mission, they're having conversations, they're on their phone, like, there's just so much energy. And you can feel it while you're there. It allows us to feel upbeat, up-tempo. You know, we're both individuals that have big goals, big dreams, things we want to do in this world, the way we want to show up, the way we want to serve, businesses that we want to create, that we are creating, that we want to grow. And we felt like it was very energizing just to be in that city environment. I know that there are so many different ways that we can energize ourselves, and we don't go into the city that often, but that's one way that we know we can do that. Going into the city, walking around, roaming, just absorbing the energy of all the people that we're walking by, seeing people from all different parts of the world. I mean, you hear several different languages being spoken on one block of the street as you're passing people, taking pictures, having different conversations. You know that there are people from around the world, and that in itself is energizing too. And I want more of that. I need more of that. I need to be energized. The more of these interviews that I'm listening to on podcasts, on YouTube, you hear these super successful people talking about energy. They talk about how they have to have more energy to get themselves up early, to go through the day, to push, to challenge themselves, to keep going, to strengthen their mind, their body, to develop the skills that they have. And I know that energy is a real thing that I think is an X factor for a lot of people. And I think there also are a lot of people that hear about energy and it's important, but they don't actually laser focus themselves on developing and building it in themselves. And I think we're missing out if we're not developing our energy, our capacity to experience more energy in ourselves and then to deliver on the things that we're doing with even more energy. For some people, having high energy is just an internal sense of intensity and passion that they're not actually showing. I think there's absolutely a value to showing your energy, because I think when you show it to other people, they pick up on it more easily. And then if the other people you're interacting with pick up on that energy, they feel it, they embrace it, and they're more high energy, and you start to feed off of each other. So that's what we got from being in the city, was just a ton of freaking energy. And I'm so motivated right now, and it's interesting, this idea of motivation, because people will say, well, you're either motivated or you're not. You either have this internal motivation or you don't. And well, if you have to go get motivation from other people or other things, then you're really not motivated. Personally, I think that's BS. Because even somebody like me, and I truly know that I'm ambitious, high energy, and motivated, I have those days and those moments when I'm unmotivated, if that's what you want to call it, where I'm not feeling the same energy, the same passion, the same excitement for what I'm doing. I think that's just part of it. You hear people all the time who are super successful in what they do in their line of work, in their business as a professional, and they're uber successful. But they're even challenged at times with not having this intense passion to push, and they have to go find it or get themselves around that energy and that motivation through other people that are mentors, that are friends, that are companions, that are colleagues who are also trying to push and energize themselves and grow to a certain level. And I think that's okay. I think that's just part of it. If you're a high achiever, you're gonna put on your boosters all the time. You're gonna put on your rockets and just try to take off every single day. And it's gonna happen that you need refueled. It's gonna happen that you need re-energized. And what I'd suggest is just finding those things for you that really energize yourselves. I think there are lots of different things. I think there are global means of finding and creating and building that energy, meaning there are ways that work for pretty much everyone to energize yourself. Like, there are general tips, tools, tactics, and strategies for how any person can energize themselves and use that energy. But I also think there are idiosyncratic strategies, meaning there are specific strategies that will work better for you than for other people. And I think sometimes that just takes time and it takes experimentation. But the more you experiment, the more you go out and try to find your own ways of developing your own energy, that can become powerful, because then you can go back to those sources. You can utilize those strategies again down the road to build up your own energy. And that energy is what creates life. That energy is what creates our unstoppability. That energy is what helps us to continue to build that momentum down whatever path you're going. So I just want to encourage you with this video, I guess, and say that I found a ton of energy, and Lauren found a ton of energy by being downtown Chicago, and it was an amazing experience, and I feel so excited by it. I'm ready to continue rocking and rolling this week and going forward. Doesn't mean I won't have to go back to the city. I think we will. Number one, it's fun, as you got to see a little bit of what we did in some of that footage. But number two, it really is energizing. It's a strategy. It's this practical thing that I can do, that Lauren and I can do, to raise our energy level. Just getting out in a city that big around so many people and just feeling that fast pace intensity really lights us up. I don't want to do it all the time. We decided we're probably not going to move to Chicago, but it's a great place to visit. It's a great place to re-energize. And there's so many different ways to re-energize that we do, but that's just one of them. And it was an awesome experience. So I wondered, maybe you can get into the city if you need re-energized. Maybe that's a strategy for you. Maybe it's not, but there's only one way to find out, really, and that's to go and experience it and see what it does for you specifically. That's it, and that's really all I had to say. Hope you're energized by that. Until we meet again next time, have fun and be awesome.